Hi YouTube, welcome to another session of Your Car Care Companion. My name is Clint and I'll be your host. Today we're going to do a front disc brake job. We've already got the car secured, emergency brake is on, it's a manual transmission so it's in first gear, and of course we put the wheel chucks on the wheels that remain on the ground. You notice this car has not been jacked up. That's because when you apply the emergency brake, the front tires will still turn. So we leave it on the ground and just break the lug nuts loose a little bit, and then we jack up the car. Okay, whenever you're going to break the lug nuts loose manually with a wrench, not with an impact wrench, but with a bar wrench, you want to approach the tire and go to the left. As you're facing it, you want to go to the left. That will allow you to always push down instead of trying to pull up. You can use your weight to break those lug nuts because they get tight. So you put them on, push down, go all the way around, put it on, and push down. That will allow you a lot more power to break those lug nuts. They can be pretty tight. Put it on and push down. Now, we're ready to jack up the car. Okay, we're looking behind the caliper now, and that's where you have to go to remove the caliper to change the brakes. We're going to need a few tools, and we showed you those in the beginning, but I'll recap. We'll need an open-end box-end wrench right here. We will need a small bungee cord like this to hold the caliper up. I usually hang it from the spring so that it doesn't damage the hydraulic cable here. And I'm going to show you how to use a baby sledgehammer, okay, a baby sledge here, to break those loose nice and easy without having an impact hammer or without breaking up your knuckles and hurting yourself. So this is how you take off the nuts. There's two nuts, one here and one here. And on this car they're actually bolts. There's two bolts, one here, and they're both 14 millimeters. So what I do is I figure out which way is counterclockwise, and in this case it's going to be in this direction, just like that, to take this off. So I'll put the wrench on here like so and hold it, and then I'll tap it with the hammer. So put it on like this, same way, turns this way, tap with the hammer. So I think we're too close. So I'm going to back the camera up so you can actually see what I'm doing, and we'll resume. Okay, back the camera up a little bit so you can actually see behind here and see what I'm doing. Put this on your bolt and get it nice and snug this way. Then you take your hammer, and it doesn't have to be real hard. Just tap until it comes loose. Not real hard, just nice and easy. And once it's loose, you can just take it loose the normal way by hand, just like that. And then you can just unscrew by hand. Do the same to the top one. You know you're going to be hitting in the counterclockwise direction. So you get it on, get it nice and snug, and just give it a little tap. And that way you don't crack your knuckles trying to manually just force those off, because they can get pretty tight too. Then you just take them off. Once you remove the outside of the caliper, this particular car has some little return springs here. They just come out. Different cars have slightly different configurations, but they have similar principle. Just take those out, put them with the lug nuts, and then your brake pads are right here. They just come off just like that. They come off, and this one is actually not too bad. There's the other side. They just come out. Just slide them out, just like that. And that's pretty much it. Then when you want to put your new pads in, you just slide them back in the same way these came out. I usually put them in at an angle like that, it makes it a lot easier. Angle them and then just slide it in. The other side, you line it up so that the pad surface is up against the disc. And you slide it in, and those are the new, will be the new brake pads. When you install new brake pads, you're going to have to realize that those pads are going to be thicker. And as your pad wears, your cylinder here comes out more and more. So you need to take a C-clamp and push that in so that there's going to be enough room to get that over, so that will fit over the new brake pads. This car doesn't need new brake pads. Then you just take your outside half of your caliper off of the bungee cord. You slide it over the brake pads like so, and like that. And then you get your 2 bolts that you put in a nice safe place like that, and you reinstall them. You turn in the clockwise direction to get those to go in. You can get them most of the way in by hand until it gets too tight for you to turn it. And then you get your box in opening wrench or your ratchet. And some people may want to use a torque wrench and torque it to manufacturer specification. That's always advisable and recommended. You just get your wrench, turn in a clockwise manner, and I just get them good and snug. I don't torque them. Good and snug, but not too tight. And that's generally good enough. Don't forget your bungee cord. And I just changed the brakes. Now you do the other side. Once you're done changing the brakes, put the wheel back on and tighten up the lug nuts, you know, as tight as you can, but you're not going to get it completely tightened up. Then you want to raise up the vehicle with the jack, take the jack stand out, and when the car's back on the ground, you want to finish tightening up those lug nuts. So we'll do that now. Now when you go to tighten the lug nuts, go to the right side of the wheel, and again you can press down to tighten. Like we went down on the left side to loosen, you can go down on the right side to tighten those up. Good and tight, so they don't come loose on you. And now your car is ready to drive.